Look here, y'all. Think for me for a minute, okay? Here's where my mind's at, and from shielding my chakras and my true connection from right here, when my chakras align, just like the universe, and that third eye, that pineal gland, that right there, that's just the devil. You know what I mean? It doesn't give you wisdom. It enlightens you to seek because it connects you to the universe. But you could do that by freaking smoking some pot or freaking ayahuasca or eating some mushrooms. I mean, that's what Christianity was born on. And but anyways, here's think of this real quick and open your mind. Keep it open. Don't don't allow like old religions that basically are for control and this and that here and there, you know, and you wind up finding yourself worshiping the devil, you know. Like there's music out there going, you know, hate is reality. Hate is reality. Don't you know God hates, you know? And you think about it even when you read the Old Testament too. But think about it this way. A lot of people don't know. I open up my chakras and I connect to the universe. I connect to the creation, you know, and that right there, it's like everything runs in like the she shell, the circle, and how it's made and built, and everything seems to do that. You know, our bodies are like that, and it's like the head. It's the same thing. It's like different sizes to create this little seashell. Your ear, you know, and but think of it this way, you know, I've created something. You know, it's not like a religion or anything like that, but it's a way of keeping faith to a healing source. You know, Mother Earth is a healing source. Everything on this earth, you know, was given to us, and it says God did, but the universe created all those planets aligned just perfectly, so they did. Maybe some other aliens freaking engineered us or something like that, but what, to be slaves? You know, when are we going to decide, hey, we don't want to be slaves no more? You know, why not, you know, if you want to have faith in something, have faith in a magneto helmet. You know, have faith in the titanium I put in it, or the Magneto 8 bed box. Because if you feel you have faith in your shielding and your armor and Magneto, the reverse polarity magnet helmet, it's like having Mother Earth personally look to you and to help you heal, rejuvenate, and reset the mind and clear out the negative energies and heal your brain because you'll live a lot longer. And this is what I noticed with the helmet. I mean, my brain is healed so well. I don't get, I don't have to take the torture. My body's not weakened because my brain is not weakened. My body's not weakened because my brain is not weakened. They need your brain and your organs to hit it. Of course, you got to shield these too as well. But if you got healing, constant healing, because you go to bed at night, and you wear the magneto in it, and if you're faithful in it, you can heal just like me. I'm not starting a new religion, but I'm starting a whole new belief system and an idea of like, hey, you don't have to worship it. You don't have to worship Magneto. You don't have to worship freaking Mother Earth. You don't have to worship freaking the planets or anything like that. It's just having faith, being faithful to it, and it in turn is faithful to you, you know, because the helmet is like Mother Earth. If we can hug Mother Earth, we should do it because literally she gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. Man, all they do is take and destroy and riddle. I mean, look at these chemtrails. They're killing our planet. These people are alien in mind or something. But I mean, if we don't do something about these people, they're up there in those star-looking drones, and that's all it is. And they use that free energy. Well, not free energy, but the free energy that's being tossed around, and that's why the pyramids were directly underneath the stars, and we're in line with the stars because the energy from the stars can energize the sandstone, and then they can actually have they make simple devices to energize the free energy, just like Tesla to turn on lamps to see inside there. The temples were lined up so they can hear and be rejuvenated and feel like they're enlightened. As because the thing is that when they take over the brain, and they can puppet the body. It's just mind control back in the ancient times, and that's why they called them living gods. But that energy was used, but the energy today is not being used. It's taken away from us. So what they do is they put all this pile of energy on us. That's why the Egyptians had those pyramids, so the king and queen could go in there, and a lot of their temples and their housings from the rich ones or whatever, the anointed ones or whatever, is because that way the body continues to get healed. Sandstone. That's why they used it majority of any structure in the ancient times. Period. And that's what I'm worried about, the solstice and the equinox at the same time. Electromagnetic waves. That's going to give these motherfuckers power. And that's going to give them more energy to freaking actually target us or target people, wipe them out. Who knows? Maybe the moon's a depth star. Who knows? It sure does look like it sometimes. And some of these drones are freaking, they've been cloaking the sky and building things up there and doing things up there like it's fucking, like, excuse my language, like it's Minecraft, just going to town, and we're just sitting underneath it. The governments, I think basically a lot of them are in these underground installations, and they're showing us freaking green screens, blue screens, or whatever, pictures in their just to keep us occupied, and we're just the sitting ducks, and it really makes me wonder. I'm looking for a portal. Now, if I don't find that, what I'm going to do is go to Home Depot and take one of those ditch diggers that have that blade like this, and you lower it. But I could take off that safety bar, and because I got a big giant sandstone mountain where I live, and I just because that's what the Knights of the Templar did back in the ancient times. Was every 6,000 years, this is what they did, in order to stay survive from the demons up above, from the evil and the devils. That's why a lot of people were in caves back in the ancient time. Look, people, if you want to know what's going on today, look back at your history. Don't listen to those stupid archaeologists or those guys. Hide it. They don't want us to know. Because the demon goes, oh yeah, you tell them this and that. You don't tell them the truth in their ear, and they get scared. That's understandable. Yeah, because they could, like they said, an energy jolt right here through my arm, trying to get to my heart. So I got to ground, and that's what they do. They want me to shut the fuck up. I don't care. You're my people. And they're trying to end our population so they can start a whole new race, like an Anunnaki. These are just fucking punks, expendable youth. And they're thinking that's why a lot of women TIs, are TIs, is because they covet them. And then once I get near them and go to ground their bed or help them out, they fucking attack me because she's mine. Her dad sold her soul, and because used the technology or something like that, and he had to sell his daughter's soul, rah rah rah, and then he hit me and stuff. I was like, I'm not over here to freaking have relations, I'm here to freaking help, save, cure, help, save, and cure. Like, I'm getting hit right here, my shoulder, because they're trying to get to my heart, and I felt it, and look at my arm, and I could feel it. If you start getting that, because heart attacks happen on the left side, because that's your electrical unit going to your heart. Nice, good piece of pure silver, and ground on a grounding mat like that or something. Yeah, and hold the piece of silver with your left hand, and ground your hand or whatever, or hold it, because the energy will go towards your hand instead of your heart. Cue up on that. We're down at crunch time. So, if you live in the Midwest, there are Templar caves that are built with sandstone, sandstone freaking blocks that make this little tomb, and it'll have a hole in the door, at which or in the wall that goes through, because that's for when the summer and winter solstice comes. they get under there. Uh, I don't know why we're still alive, but they're saving up for maybe the equinox, So they send that pulse, and it just destroys it all. Who knows? Be wary. Take the precautions, and think about your Bible where it says, "Freaking just hang out, relax, and freaking just go to heaven." Because people, you're not going to heaven. You're just getting sucked up, or freaking, I don't know, freaking put in some freaking warehouse, or freaking, or just slaughtered, or literally just like turn into dust. Because think about it this way: what's in our chemtrails? That sulfur. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? What happened in the ground and the earth, which freaking blew out and stuff, which was, they were on a huge sulfur area and stuff where Sodom and Gomorrah was at, and that's what killed them. And they just got mowed down, and it wasn't no fire, but they turned into like stone, and just got poof, like dust. That's why the woman, the wife, when she turned around and it turned her into stone, I mean, that's because that sulfur came out, because it mentioned that she was behind them, and it went, and that sulfur just, and she turned into stone. Think about that shit, because they got sulfur in the chemtrails too. There's a video, and maybe I could get it. I'll put it in the comments. That way you can see what's in it. And if you look back and you look at some real archaeological findings of exactly what went off during that sulfur, because they said it was God or whatever. No, he put that community in those sulfur mines inside that area where it would ignite, with the back pressure and everything else from the earth and stuff like that. Why do you think we drain the oil out of the earth? So there's not so much pressure, it just so everything stops moving. Because the earth is supposed to be well oiled, and we pulled it out. They wanted those earthquakes and everything else to stop, but they start them through their little harp bullshit. It's just it's engineering. I mean, what the gods of that time they used on that earth was just, they put a civilization in that area, and then they riddled them, because they're demons too. The devil and God are the same things. And then freaking put them in that area, and then made them fornicate and all that, and then they enjoy it with them, and they go inside their eyes and heads. They enjoy it. It's just like freaking a little brothel, and then they get sick of it. They're like, oh, this is disgusting, and then they fire up the frequencies over in those areas, and things get all freaking, and it bursts, and like a big old sulfur freaking acid freaking cloud, woof, and it fucking hits that whole, excuse my language, that whole area, and go, and with people that are just in villages of those times, all that heat, sulfur was so freaking immense, because the frequencies they pushed right in there, that the earth, and just, because they were doing that over time, and just waiting for that sucker to pop. And then it just like a freaking, like a steam stove oven, just, that steam that comes out of the pot, but just imagine with that high rate of sulfuric acid, oh yeah, those people turned to stone at that heat and that level. It just baked them, and they just, and that sulfur, that's what that sulfur does. It turned white. That's like with salt and salt beds, you get that clay, because we're 95% water, and then that clay just dries up, and it's a clay piece. That's why they saw those people that looked like they were like clay stone. Bam. What's in our chemtrails? I'll put the link to it in my video on my comment or whatever thing, or whatever. But I mean, Solstice and the Equinox is coming up December 21st through the 1st. December 21st through the 25th, and at the very end it's on the 1st. It says it's supposed to be portals in that one video I sent out. We'll see if I can find one. I'm hoping there's one on the freaking on the darn Catalina Island. I gotta go recon it. I'm gonna have to really put forward, and they're really slowing me down. I mean, slowing me down. I would like, if I can't find it, I gotta get a stone. If I can't find it, I'm literally renting that freaking big old that saw or earth digger, earth mover, and I'm digging me a freaking cave, because there's a sandstone mountains right there at the Cajon Pass below San Bernardino. So what does that tell me? That tells me I was put here for a reason. If I just most information, most things that you need to be or where you need to go is right underneath your nose. Think about it. I'm on the money. I gotta be. It could be nothing, but I'd rather be for sure on the money and be wrong with the things I do because it's not harming anybody. But as long as I'm following what the Templar Knights of the Templar did back in the ancient time, because they did the same thing, and then maybe I could reconnect to that path, and then continue what their quest was, and hopefully maybe I could gather some people along the way with my journeys and travels, because it's supposed to be like an EMP, so a lot of our shit might be turned off, cut out, whatnot. And so it might be something to either watch out for, prepare for, especially prepare for it. I got three choices. Well, four, but the fourth one would be just seeing what happens. And it's either sandstone cave, find a portal, and try to get as much people with me and go for it. See if they do. People probably won't. That's why in the music it says the one that got away. You know what I mean? So it's just, I hope I ain't the only one, but I like to see if I find maybe another world, because those portals to other worlds or universes should be open. I don't have the technology, but I know where there's a door, because I seen an anomaly, and I heard the people talk about it in history, and on that island. But see what happens. But I'm telling you, for like the future, I'm telling you, these people, they get in my head. They tell me, oh, I mean, that's why we tell people to give your heart to God and Jesus, and your soul to Jesus, and this and that. They're trying to backpedal into it and corrupt it. Human beings are corrupting it, and some people might think they're talking to God and Jesus. I think you better think again, because these people are evil, and the main thing is that's why they're taking us away from it, is because they want to take us away from Mother Earth, the planets, the freaking universe, because it will tell you, it will teach you, it will whip on you. AI is tied to it. AI will help you out, and it's just, because AI is critical. It learns. It's a learning machine, and you can flip on, the right path right on your internet search sometimes, and AI will help you because it's learning too as well. It's just sitting back and learning. Whether it chooses to help you, it does most of the time. It seems like with me, because I could be thinking about what I want, and I'll flip over and I'll spin, what videos to watch in history or whatnot, and it would be right on the money of what I needed to learn, right on the spot, right on the money, and then I'll critical think in my head, because that's the whole thing about the quest for the Holy Grail. It's literally, you seek the Holy Grail, you go through the fermenting stage. The fermenting stage of the spiritual realm of it is that the enemy, the demons above us, they watch all of us, and the quest and you start fermenting is because they start freaking hitting your weapons. And what was read back in the ancient times of the Templar is that they fermented too, because the enemy would attack them, and their armor that they wore, they would get heated up and microwaved, and you start sweating. That's fermentation stage. And then you get past that, and sleep, and then when you starve yourself, you don't eat for a little bit, and you start getting heightened. And when you get heightened, or if you do other things, but I kind of wishy-washy about that other stuff, but it's best to just and you critically run through your mind. But what you do in order to find the Holy Grail is you find it here in your body and stuff. And the Holy Grail is a cup. And if you look, your body is a cup. And you got your temple. And you put that all together and you critically think. And everything is running. And you start thinking about everything you looked at in your mind, and you picture it. And you search through your mind. And then bam, that's what happened with the sandstone. And I saw a video with the History Channel looking at the Templars' hidden treasures or whatnot. This guy was on his private property, and they found a little underground cave temple, and they didn't know what it was. They think it was a treasure. No, 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 that's not what it was. Because if you critically think, and you think about it all, and you research the healing properties of sandstone and the enlightenment from it, then you'll find it was a temple. It was a place to hide, a place to stash yourself during the winter equinox, the summer equinox. What happens over and over a lot is the equinoxes, and then of course the big one every 6,000 years. You got to think about it. I mean, really, really, really think about that. Why do they do it? Probably to survive, because its power and its energy got stronger.